Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and today I am talking about my first time playing the newest Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers. This game came out like a week ago, but I really wanted to play it and give my thoughts on it. I am playing this game on the Xbox Series X, but it is available on all of the main consoles and PC, and it apparently runs well on the Switch too. Now before I go into talking about the new game, I'll say that I have played a few Sonic games in my years, with Generations being my favorite of the ones I've played. I even Let's Played a lot of it. So I may reference and compare Frontiers to the games I've already played. And with that, let's get into the video. When you start the game, it asks you what difficulty you would like to play on. I chose normal and what style you'd like to play on. You can choose between action style and high speed style, and the difference between the two is that action is for players not used to past Sonic games, and the other being those who are used to Sonic games. I chose high speed style because of me playing a few Sonic games here and there. Then we go into a cutscene where Eggman puts some device on an ancient ruin, it opens some portals around him, and then spits out these robot-looking things, and eventually even sucks Eggman into the ruins. We then cut to Sonic, Tails, and Amy flying in a plane that looks like one of Tails' classic planes, except this one has 2 seats, but Sonic still doesn't get one of these seats. I mean, come on, this is super dangerous, and yep, I'm surprised Sonic was able to hold on. Then we get sucked into the portal, and Sonic awakes in Green Hill Zone. Well, at least that's what it looks like. Here, I'll talk about the gameplay, and I have to say that was a little weird, because like most of the modern Sonic games, you are able to boost, but instead of it being on the X button, it's on the right trigger, so it's like you're driving a car. So in some of the gameplay, you may see me attack instead of boosting, and that's why. But despite the weird controls, I thought this felt really good. You were able to run really fast, collect rings and red rings, homing attacks feel really powerful, and yet it has everything that I want and need in a Sonic game. There are even the hint icons that you can hit if you need help. So after racing through the level and only missing one of the red rings, we get our score. And it's a C? I mean, I know I was kind of slow at the beginning, but come on. There are also 4 goals that you can get that get you a key, and they usually reach the goal, clear with a rank S, get the amount of rings, and find all the red star rings. Luckily, this game allows you to just retry levels right after you are finished with them, so I go back, get the remaining red ring, because they even remember what rings you have already collected, and get a B rank. Some of the levels in this game are so hard to get an S rank, like I felt like I was going so fast through here, and I barely got a B. So anyway, we leave the level and we wake up on this new island that we've never seen before, and I have to say, it feels surreal seeing Sonic run in this type of area, and it looks like one of those fan-made Unreal Engine demos. Anyway, Sonic is the only one who made it there, and some voice in the sky says that Sonic is the only one who has escaped from cyberspace, which is where we just were, and it makes sense now that the skybox looked like it did. So anyway, we are apparently the key, and we need to find the Chaos Emeralds, destroy the Titans, and then break through the walls between the dimensions. And other than the Chaos Emeralds right now, I have no idea what they're really talking about. Here we are able to traverse through the world however we want, and there are multiple of these different challenges or puzzles around the world that we are able to do to get some items. These puzzles can include pressing buttons on the ground to homing attack different things, and I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what these things that we get from completing these puzzles do. I know that there are some collectibles that help us progress, but I'm not 100% sure. There are also enemies around the world that we are able to attack and even punch and kick them, which I think may be the first time we are able to do that with Sonic in a Sonic game. But most enemies will go down with one homing attack, like these Metroid Prime Federation Force looking guys. As you can see from my gameplay, there are a ton of different things spread out across the world for you to do and get rings, and I really enjoyed doing them all, even if I had to go back to do them. I don't know, the gameplay just felt so good. As we progress, we eventually come across the enemy, the Ninja, and this is a really powerful enemy that will actually need to hit him more than once, and this is where I realized that if you get hit, you lose all your rings like some Sonic games. Generations just makes you lose a few of them, so if you have a lot, you won't go down in 2 hits. But in this game, you may need to scramble to get to either dodge or pick up a ring. But after running a lot and hitting them, we defeat the ninja and are able to progress more and do more of these challenges around the world. We see some statues that we have to move to open the doorway, and here we get to unlock our first skill, the side loop, which allows us to leave a trail behind us when running, and if we connect it to a circle, it will do damage to enemies inside that circle. Here we can see the skill tree that we can eventually add on to, though in this video I don't think I unlock more than the second option, but I really like the side loop. It feels so good to run and actually do damage to the enemies, so it makes running a viable option, which is nice. It can even be used to solve puzzles. Also, some enemies may only be attacked with the side loop, so you'd then be able to break their shield and attack them normally. Eventually we find another one of those ruins and have to return it to the cyber dimension. It turns out that we need these gears to be able to go into it and have to fight a target to take its gear, like this tower enemy. And I am really liking the different enemy designs. They're also so fun to fight, but here's where I learned how aggressive enemies can be. I got hit, and then not even a second later, got hit again and then lost. I mean, in other Sonic games, you'd have some invincibility frames to gather some rings, but in this game, if you're not on your feet, you can lose so quickly. After trying again and beating him up, we get the gear and are able to head into the next sniper dimension. This time, it's Angel Island from Sonic 3. The aesthetics of this level are so good, you can even see the death egg in the background. Anyway, we go through the level and once again miss one red ring, and we got another C. So I go to retry the level, get the red ring, and we still got a C by 0.5 seconds. Man, this game is tough when you're trying to get a good time. So we go at it again, and we finally get that B, and move on. We get 3 vault keys and see that this vault with the blue chaos emerald be able to be opened, and the bridge also just got created by light so we can progress to the next island. Here's also where I unlocked another skill tree item that just allows us to do more damage with higher combos. We also find these things called Cocos that we can find around the world that we can eventually trade them into the Coco Elder for either more health or ring capacity. I think the Cocos should have been Chow's, but oh well. We make it to the blue emerald, grab it, and put it somewhere. With that, we finish the tutorial island, and we can see this huge enemy just walking through the area. But before we go to fight him, we see this red orb, and it's holding Amy. Well, at least a hologram or something of her. We're able to open her cage with the power of hearts. We figure out that if Amy was trapped here, then Tails is too, and we go to try and find and free both all of Amy and Tails. After finding some more hearts and purple coins, now we go on to fight this huge enemy called Azura. Wait, that doesn't look like Azura's Wrath. Now this enemy is bigger than any we've faced so far, and I have to say I really like how we have multiple ways to attack it. If we use a side loop at his feet, we can hit him at the bottom and grab some gears. Then he'll try to hit us and we can climb up his arm and attack his head tower things. Though I had some trouble with this boss, probably because I was trying to rush it, so I died. A few times. Though because of that, I was able to learn you can actually just climb up the enemy, which I thought was really cool and allowed me to attack in different ways. Anyway, after struggling, we defeat Azura. It took so long it turned to night. We use the gears to open up a new gate, and is this Sonic 06's Crisis City? I recently bought that game on my 360, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't be too sure. But it's actually our first 2D level, and for some reason, despite feeling so fast in the 3D levels, I feel so slow in this level. So slow in fact that I'm not sure I'd ever be able to even get an S rank. What? Well, I guess this level is so short that it didn't matter how slow I went, but I redid the level to get the last red ring and get all 4 keys, and I'm still surprised I got an S rank on this level though. With these vault keys, we open the cage that holds the yellow Chaos Emerald. We also get a cutscene of Eggman in this Crisis City world, wondering where he is. We go on to grab the red emerald and give this Elder Coco some of his friends, and we increase our ring capacity. Then this giant Evangelion looking titan just spawns into existence, and this sassy kid tells us to leave. Obviously we aren't going to leave our friend Tails behind, so we tell him no, and try to fight this giant titan. But our attacks aren't enough and we get thrown through pillars to a whole new area. This is where I'll stop for the video, about an hour gameplay so I don't spoil too much for you guys. But I have to say that I love this game a lot. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this much of the game, but it just grabbed me and I honestly didn't want to stop playing. The gameplay is super fun and addicting, to where I'll do all these little things most of the time don't amount to much, even riding these rails to go back to the start just to go right on back to where I was. The game also looks amazing, like I'm surprised it looks the way it does. It can feel a little weird, but I'm really liking how it looks. Both the gameplay and the cutscenes look so good. The character designs look very similar, if not exact to previous games, but for this game they allow Sonic to change his look a little bit, like the Sonic Adventure 2 soap shoes that I'm wearing throughout the video. Also, the music in this game is amazing. Like, I heard how good it was, even the guy at the store who I bought the game from was singing its praises, but it's so good. Like, the Angel Island music in particular is one of my favorites, like listen to this. Also, this game really makes me want to play the first Sonic Adventure game again for some reason. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about with Sonic Frontiers. This is probably going to be one of my favorite Sonic games I've played, maybe even eventually beating out Generations, and I definitely recommend you to go try it out for yourself. It's available on all the consoles you know, and it's a real good time. So I hope you enjoyed the video, have a good day, and goodbye!